SCNR.com reports feds raid 3 homes owned by Sean Diddy Combs in connection with a sex trafficking case. 3 homes. Producer has been accused of running a criminal racketeering enterprise that included murder, sex trafficking, illegal firearms, and drug trafficking. Mansions in L.A., Miami, and New York were stormed by heavily armed agents in the with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on March 25th. Homeland Security investigations confirmed the raids to TMZ and said the agency executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information that becomes available. TMZ reported the case is being handled out of the Southern District of New York and is likely tied to sex trafficking allegations against Combs in multiple lawsuits in recent months. Now, I'd love to claim SDNY, it must be political bias, but P. Diddy, of course, is anti-Trump, so must not be it. The music mogul has been fighting multiple legal battles, including from a woman who claims that Combs gang raped her at his New York recording studio after plying her with drugs and alcohol when she was only 17. That case filed last December was the 4th assault lawsuit against Combs. So what I heard is that what they would do is they'd invite artists to studios to record or whatever, slip them something in their drink. Once they got delirious and loopy, they would then film lurid acts with these people, male or female. And then once they came to, say, we're going to ruin your life by posting this video unless you do exactly what we tell you from now on. I don't know if that's true. Those are just the rumors that I heard on the internet. And as you know, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
The only thing that I would say about that particular rumor is that is a reapplication of the rumors about Epstein.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as use, powerful people using sex as a blackmail tool. So take it for what it's worth. But I mean, if multiple women are making accusations and stuff, you at least have to look into it. And then when he jumps on a jet and is like, I'm getting off the CODIS.
So I don't know how true this is, but it's got almost 1 million views, got thousands of retweets and quote tweets, and people are referencing it a lot. This is just I don't know who this user is. They've got a couple thousand followers. It's sure they say it's is dat. I don't know what their username is. Private jet owned by Sean P. Diddy Combs has left the U.S. Combs' residents were raided by DHS. We know that. The flight path of the plane appears to be headed towards Cape Verde. Cape Verde has no extradition treaty with the U.S. So at the time of posting this, the plane was still in the air. And as of right now, they've shared the tracking information. There is a jet. I don't know. It's just a publicly available website showing a jet landing in what appears to be St. John's. So not Cape Verde, Antigua. Is that how you say it? Antigua?
Yeah, Antigua.
Antigua. Do they have an extradition treaty with the U.S.?
I know
Look it up.
nothing.
I don't know.
I don't know about
No idea. And I don't even know that that's actually his jet. So, no idea exactly what this means, but a lot of people are saying that he was basically doing what Epstein was doing.
Yeah. If that is his jet, there are a lot of recording studios in the Caribbean and stuff like that.
Maybe he just wants to record an album, says Phil.
Well, no. The point that I'm making is there would be places in the Caribbean that would be friendly to artists because of there's different types of royalties that you can get when you record outside of the United States. There's a whole line of income that's available to artists if they record some stuff outside of the United States. You can go and look the information up on Google. But so it would make sense for them to have connections in places like that and be like, all right, I'm going to go, we're going to go and record or whatever. So just because there's a plane going there that had alleged ties to P. Diddy doesn't mean it is actually him is trying to escape the continental U.S. But it just looks funny,
Real quick, just as an aside, the diddler is trending.
Well,
he did that to himself.
I was pleasantly surprised to learn that the Homeland Security Department actually does investigate international sex trafficking. We've only had the worst sex trafficking operation in the history of humanity going on, enabled by President Biden. And of course, the focus is on this Hollywood musical figure. I tell you, I'm skeptical about everything the feds do. So I'm sure there's something to be investigated.
I must agree.
But the deployment of resources here seems to be out of the ordinary, considering the crisis on the border with sex trafficking in numbers that would shock the conscience of any American citizen.
There are more federal agents and more guns that went to pick up P. Diddy at his house than are at many of the individual border locations where people go to seek asylum.
But how long until the Biden administration is like, look, you can't say we don't take human trafficking and sex crimes seriously. We do actually use our forces to take down the bad guys. Like, at what point do they use this as a sacrificial lamb to
I hate how much
reclaim
sense that makes.
It's awful, right? I mean, I think you're totally right. If we were serious about these types of crimes, we would immediately address the border, but instead there's sort of this, we'll get a flashy news story going and turn the attention away. I mean, this feels like when the Biden administration is like, hey, did you guys hear about those UFOs that we're going to tell you about now? Every time Hunter Biden gets in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 women sex trafficked into Los Angeles, right? And you're in Homeland Security. Oh, well, we don't, that's
too hard.
That's
we
too
don't want
much
to do
work.
that.
P. Diddy.
Well, the thing is, what's going to give you more bang for your buck? Picking up P. Diddy. It's going to be all over the news. You're going to look like heroes, blah, blah, blah. Picking up nameless, faceless, trafficked people. I mean...
Embarrasses the administration.
Yeah, it doesn't...
You know, here, this is a... Look, you know, between Senator Menendez, even Hunter Biden, I have a little sympathy for. I don't trust any of the prosecutions. Not that they're innocent or guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
The point is that the feds at this level don't make honest decisions when it comes to pursuing claims against people like P. Diddy, to Hunter Biden, to Senator Menendez. And obviously Trump is the big kahuna in that regard. But you can't trust the DOJ and Homeland Security. They're so compromised when it comes to high-level investigations like this. And I'm not saying Diddy did anything right or wrong. It's just don't trust his enemies here.
The big question right now everyone's asking is, did Diddy do it? Or didn't Diddy do it? We don't know what Diddy did do or what Diddy didn't do.
I
stole that from South Park. That's a South Park joke. Everybody knows it's a South Park joke, but I had to say it. Did Diddy do it?
But who names themselves Diddy? Like, what? Where did this come from? I'm just saying, maybe this has been an open secret for a long time. He was, in fact, so open that he could make a cute nickname out of it.
It was Puff Daddy. It was, and then it was P. Diddy.
No. Sean Puffy Combs.
Sean Puffy Combs, yeah. He should have stuck with Sean Puffy Combs. That was the most like adult that also gave a throwback to when he was younger and where he came from. It should have been Sean Puffy Combs, yeah.
Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Right?
You know, there was a period where in his movie career it just had The Rock.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they were like, Dwayne, quote, The Rock. Now it's just Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not as cool. That's lame.
The Rock.
That one's a downgrade.
Look, he is currently playing in, or he's wrestling in the WWE, so that means he's on Raw and stuff, and he's a heel now, and he's awesome. I love I think he's great.
He started on WWE, I thought.
Yeah.
So he's just like circling back.
Well, he'll do stuff in movies, and he's so busy when he gets to go back to WWE, it's a big deal, and he doesn't stay for a long time. He just does one, a couple little bits, one storyline, and he's off to do another thing. But when he's there, he's still awesome in the ring. He's still great. He still delivers lines like it's nobody's business. He's still the greatest, most electrifying man in sports entertainment. He's great. So,
do you think the man formerly known as Puff D, or what was he, Puff Daddy?
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs.
I'm not
He's
cool
the
enough to
diddler
know
now.
this. Do you think the diddler will make an appearance on WWE? This is the real question.
No.
How do you bounce back?
Not because specifically not because Vince McMahon is currently under investigation or in a case regarding sexual assault and stuff. He's got his own stuff. The last thing he's going to do is be like, yo, let's get this guy to come on over. No, he's not
does have extradition.
So it's not clear he's been detained anywhere.
No, and I don't even know that jet's actually his.
Yeah.
Everybody's just retweeting it because they want to believe it, but unless we can get hard verification on that tail number being owned by him, I just say, like, with these big breaking stories, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, he could be, they could be a raid. They wasn't designed to have him arrested, just to gather evidence. So who knows, right? He's still.
Well, I mean,
I gotta agree with you though, Tom. I don't trust the feds when we have Dr. Phil saying that our tax dollars are funding sex trafficking, that these children are coming across the border from cartels, and the feds aren't doing anything about that. In fact, quite the opposite. They're facilitating it.
Yep.
The only thing I can assume is this raid is about the competition and not about actually trying to stop him because of a sworn moral duty.
Yeah, they're like, hey, this is our thing. Get out of here, Sean.
This is our thing.
That's our business, and we will not allow you to participate. So us, federal government, will shut you down.
Maybe. I don't think so, but
12 million coming across the border. And
Yeah.
this is the focus of Homeland Security.
I like I said earlier, I think that this is. I mean, obviously, if this isn't a real, if this is.
No, it's still there.
Uh-oh.
Wait, no, it's gone. It's gone.
Okay. If they if they have the evidence or they're collecting evidence, they have enough evidence to have a warrant and whatever and stuff. But there's no reason to trust the federal government anymore. Like everybody that is your average person or anyone that's going to have any dealings with the federal government, they're always going to be thinking, is there something that I said or did that has brought this on me? Or are they? Or if I obviously you're gonna want to have a lawyer around before you speak to the police or whatever to the law. But like
never talk to them. If you're ever under investigation, never talk.
You have to have a lawyer.
Certainly not to the federal government.
Yeah.
Never
So
do it without the advice of a lawyer.
Is the best thing Diddy could do, the diddler could do, is is say the government's trying to frame me and curry support with people who already are skeptical.
He's got to go full MAGA.
You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of people who'd be like, these are terrible crimes. I do want to take this seriously, but the federal government is sketchy, and so it does seem like we should give you the benefit of the doubt.
You kind of raised some interesting questions, right? So he's going to, I would presume, consult a lawyer or two. And the lawyers are going to have a kind of good lawyers are going to have a conservative approach to how to deal with the federal government. But in a case like this, do you throw those rules out the window and go with the Trump approach, saying, they're setting me up, this is all just politics or whatever? Whatever argument you use, it's relatively non-legal, but just raises issues about the investigation itself.
He's just got to show up at the next Trump rally, get on stage with Trump.
Oh, before you know it.
And just throw his support behind Trump and know that if he does that, if Trump gets elected, Trump will go ahead and just railroad the whole investigation, let him go. He's fine. That's his way out.
He's recording a real quick track called MAGA 2024.
Yeah.
That's why he flew to Antigua. He's like, yeah, we were put on this new song, and then the feds raided us. I can't imagine what this is all about.
Who's a Canadian rapper, Tom McDonald. He'll make an appearance on it and be like, yeah, I also like Trump.
No, in all seriousness though, if Diddy did try and come out as MAGA, it wouldn't work. Trump supporters would be like, okay, Epstein Jr., like, nah, not interested.
Right.
Like, we're not buying it. There's like video clips of him being like, Trump is bad or something. I don't know what his politics are.
Speaking of Epstein Jr., so you had these stories come out about Nickelodeon. They had a half a dozen shows that were sexualizing children for what, a decade, and no one did anything about it over there?
Well, I think the issue.
How did we all miss that? I guess adults weren't watching.
Well, no. I think people talked about this for a long time.
I don't think the shows themselves had overt things. It was behind the scenes. I could be wrong.
That's what I know about
Well, a few of the scenes were really outrageous, even on air. And that was kind of clear in some of the documentary I saw.
I know that Drake Bell, is that his name?
Drake Bell made accusations.
He said he was actually abused by one of the guys.
Yeah, significantly abused. Yeah. Well, some of these young girls, who's the singer who used to be on?
There's a bunch of them.
Well, anyway,
Selena Gomez.
They had some who?
Selena Gomez.
No, it was someone else. Kind of like in that age group, who was involved in sexualized content, promoting these programs.
Oh, Ariana Grande.
Maybe it was her. And I guess there had been a video of that out there.
It was Ariana Grande.
Really outrageous. And where were the adults? And this is a corporation. Where's the responsibility? The Justice Department or Los Angeles County officials and law enforcement should be investigating that corporation for criminal activity based on what I saw.
I heard this. I don't know if it's true. Is it true that Nick Kel Odio means I don't care for God? Did you hear that? That's what everyone started posting after the, they said it's Latin. Nick Kel Odio is Latin for I don't care for God or something like that. Someone, I don't know, Google it. Somebody.
Nickelodeon is a old-timey word, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a jukebox.
Yeah, put a nickel in the Nickelodeon.
But that's what they're claiming now. It's like satanic or something. So I'm like, well, I don't know.
Nick L what?
Nickelodeo, I think. Nickelodeon.
So they've got evidence of sexualization of children, the abuse of children on these corporate-controlled sets, and our friends online get obsessed with Satanism in the name, as if that's the issue. The truth is terrible, and they distract from the truth with these silly conspiracy theories.
Yeah, well, to your point, Jeanette McCurdy, who's an actress who was on one of these shows, that was produced by Dan Schneider, who's got all these like pending out, or like people are starting to say he was, very inappropriate, especially with the young female actresses. She wrote this book that went viral because it's called "I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead," and talks about her growing up in, in Hollywood and what that experience was like. But she alluded to the experiences she had on set. She didn't come out, as far from what I remember about it, she didn't come out and say these are the names, these are who you should go after. But the book was so popular, it was because the title is so flashy, everyone heard about it. It wasn't a secret. I mean, I think Amanda Bynes, who, has very publicly gone through some mental health struggles, also made similar accusations. I mean, at a certain point, people have known for a long time, and why we decided now was the time to take them seriously, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one,
but
Hannah, it's one thing to have those allegations out there. It's another thing to pull the thread and say, well, where were these people?
They were out there for a long time.
Yeah, no.
Why did no one pull the thread is my question.
Yeah.
And why now? Why now does it feel okay to do this? Is it because we as a culture have changed to say that we really don't trust Hollywood and we want to see the stuff come out? Like, is Hollywood losing influence in a way that makes them more vulnerable? I don't know.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.